All right, welcome, and good evening. It's Thursday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We are live, Liberty Aid Academy with Jack McKeag, and open mic night. We are officially, I'm going to give out the link. If you've got a question, come on up and ask your question, or, give a review of what you've experienced about the trust would be even better. But here we are with Jack. How's it going, Jack? How was your week? It's now Thursday evening, headed into the weekend. What do you got?
A little breezy, a little rainy.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
might have seen some swirling motions on your TV or your phone. Debbie was having a dance all over us, tap dance all over us. 2 feet of rain. I mean, come on. It was
Yeah.
crazy. So, but not that windy, thankfully. So, uh, you know, but
Good.
I,
So
oh,
hopefully it runs right off.
but I have one for you. Remember the day you showed up, you're like, the septic. I'm like,
Yeah.
but me, this is like the day, we just finally, I don't think it rained any drops. Well, many. It did have made rain many drops today. Uh, and we had some leaks and called us, hey, because in our lease it's like, hey, if you see any water leaking, call. So my wife finally is like, hey, and I was sitting down making videos in here, and I was hearing all this noise and stuff like that, and she comes in, I'm like, what's going on? She's like, all I did was text them about we had a leak and they were here, and they come and took out like 3 full uh pieces of sheetrock out of 3 main places, like off
Wow.
the wall. Opened it up. She texted, 2 guys showed up, removed it, swept it, vacuumed everything. They're gonna fix it like instantly. It's funny, we rent, and the place we rent, we rent like the clubhouse, pool house.
Right.
And beneath it is the service center for the condo facility and everything.
Hmm.
So they're literally right underneath of us. So uh if she needs anything, she'll like they're
Yeah.
right there. That's why they're right there. I'll be working there, right there. So she was like, all I did was text them. It was like, wow.
Excellent.
So, and no cost, because the condo owes
Even
this
better.
particular unit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? This particular one over the pool, and it's in this giant building. It's really, like a community building and stuff. So, and it's the only unit in it. And it has all these trees around it, a giant pool and a lake and a beautiful view. And my
Beautiful.
my nephew come in, he looked at us, but we only have a dinky little part of it. But he pulled up to come visit us, and he's like, "That's your house?" He just bent over laughing. I was like, yeah, sure. To you, that is our house. So
Right.
we have like 24 parking spaces, and it's kind of after I went through a hurricane and stuff, I was like, you know what, that seems like the perfect place for right now.
Yeah.
Like whatever breaks, they'll fix, and boy, do they. But you know, I was doing that like you were doing your thing the other night, and
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, I'm
Well,
like,
knock on wood, I'm still working. Things are back to normal, and we're trying to keep it that way.
great, great. I was going to say
So
that.
your prayers we're working up here, I'll send them right back down to you.
Thank you. They were here 2 seconds. I was like, whoa. We didn't really
Yeah.
have much, honestly.
Very good. We got John in the room. Prayers for my orphanage here in Kenya. Yes, you got it.
Oh, it's word for word the same thing every time, no matter what the name is. It's amazing.
Valeria, I think. Hello, John and Tim and everyone. I was watching your latest Revelation videos. Thank you for everything you do, John.
Larry, thank you. I
Larry.
appreciate the support over there. Some people are into the spiritual side of things, so I do a thing over there, Jesus Christ Trust on Net, and that's what she's talking about. So I appreciate that. It's not easy
Excellent.
to wear both hats, so I'm over there
Right up there.
wearing that hat over there for the interested parties. So anyway, happy to help.
Any updates on the how's the Monday master class going?
Oh, that's going good. That's what I was working on a bunch today. I've been working on it, but like I was like, I'm gonna do these things. Like did all my
Mhm.
research and everything. I was like, wow, I did all this. So it went really well. Uh,
Good.
it's good. I'm really doing stuff really super ahead of time, I would say, but
Mhm.
some of what I'm doing, like, my work. So you do this and something happens, and then you see, it's not like just usually like ding and done. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Right.
open a bank account, but when you do the other things from it, it's like, okay, how do you do that? How do you fill out the form? So I'm trying to front run a bunch of it, which I am. And so that way it could get like, okay, on this topic, one and two and three. So it'll be like I'll cover like probably a topic each week, but then it'll have a bunch of videos and it only on that one topic, only on that one application or whatever like that. So just stick to one thing. And it might be like, short videos. But for example, like if I'm doing a net 30 account, I'm like not Mr. Super technical. So I'll make a okay, here's where you put in all your information. I do each box and everything. I explain it and
Mhm.
all like that. Out of this drop down, what do you do? Company, nonprofit, every
Right.
tiny little exact everything. Uh, because helicopter money's coming in. I said it last time, I was saying it again, obviously. No one knows, what the straw is going to be the brace and camel's back. Who knows? But we just know your behavior from past pro wrestling events that there's a
Mhm.
chair and somebody gets it with a chair. We know that's going to happen, like so. Just that's what I'm mainly focused on preparing in the beginning, and then we'll do some other, uh, processes that take some more time, and then we'll go live on Monday. So, no, it's going good. I'm getting some good progress on that.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. So sometimes it's good when I can just focus on just progressing work and not really talking to anybody or anything like that, but just getting it done because that's a more
Right.
useful end product for people. Um,
Yep.
and so I just try and do my best with not doing too many words or too long or anything. I know everybody's got, is busy. So I'm like, no, this box, that box, here we go. So I really am making this thing where you can build a credit profile like super fast as possible. So, and cutting out the things you don't need and expenses. So anyone who has a mind to do any of that, that's the first part. I'm getting into, varied topics and I'll get live and so on. I treat and I would never skip through any of this, whoever you are at whatever level. I would start where I'm starting because I say why I'm starting, where I'm starting,
Mhm.
So it's I assume everyone has the coursework, they know it, and now we're gonna go fill it out and out the applications and stuff like that, a whole bunch of them. So, that's what it is. Great progress. It's going good. I'm enjoying it. Except for the sawing noise when I'm trying to do it. I was like, okay, some opposition in the place today. Okay. I must be getting some traction. I love it.
Now, quick clarification on what you're talking about, getting the credit profile ready and helicopter money. The credit profile is for the person, right? And
For the trust, and it assumes that maybe I started a place where you don't need any good personal credit. You did it
okay,
last time when the SBA, we had the
right,
whole thing, the big show, and then the SBA is like money, PPP, EIDL.
right,
These are the criteria for you to get this money, and here's the window of time, you
right.
know. So there really wasn't. I mean, there was a window of time, but then they're like, "We're out of money." You know what I mean? So it's
Mhm.
like you had to have it done. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to know this thing was coming. You're like, "Okay, ready." Click,
Right,
click. If you were in the first bat, even if you did it the first couple of weeks or months, you're like, "Okay," but that's not enough time really to with everything going on, everybody freaking out. Like, how are you going to get your credit profile done now? It's no, there's not enough time. It takes time.
right, right,
Like, for example, you have to get signed up with someone who's going to report. You have to know who they are. You have to know what you're doing. You have to build the trust properly, and then you have to. I think just one account. See, business credit doesn't report the way personal credit does. It reports differently. It reports how quickly you pay a bill. So you need a bill, i.e., a
Mhm.
credit, a balance on your credit account, uh, to report that you paid that bill. So you
Right.
can't be doing zero all the time. That's actually, and so you're kind of trying to do the opposite of a personal credit and have high balances and then pay them rapidly because it's about how fast you pay your bills and how high your bills are. So
Right.
it's
Right.
completely the opposite. So if you got to carry balances, they're all about it over on a business credit report, and they have 0% cards over there and stuff that you can get to, and many things. So it's building that, but it's also has a more useful credit profile for what I
Mhm.
just said. You can carry balances, it's good, you know what I mean? They wanna give you way higher balances over on credit profiles, you know, yeah, I just like, for example, I got, uh, 3 uh, credit accounts today, early ones, and one was like 2,000 credit, another was 3,200, and another was 2,000 credit at no personal guarantee, just because uh, I had built a credit profile right to qualify for them, and I knew how to
Mhm.
do that. And then they're going to report if I buy a toaster for or whatever.
Right.
That's
Right.
that's the game they play, or cleaning supplies, or something you need, pens, and they have a bunch of junk.
Sure.
You know, they just overprice it, and then they literally charge you a fee, like an annual or monthly fee, and then
Mhm.
they report, and then all of a sudden you got the credit profile. So it makes sense to just do it, get it done, and then you pull back from them accounts,
Right.
and then you go for accounts that don't have fees that are way more actually useful, like you know, at like the building places, Home Depot and Lowe's and stuff
Yeah.
that don't charge fees but do report. Uh, so you're doing this bottom thing to get to this thing, and so that helps anyway. You can actually build all the credit things with horrible personal credit. They'll do everything I was just talking about. When you get your credit cards, they won't do it, but when your personal thing comes around, they will give you super high credit limits if you bid for in your business credit cards,
Right.
if you do this all right. So the side benefit though, and the timing is with the big show though, let's do it now.
Mhm.
So when they come down, even if you have bad personal credit, doesn't matter. Last time it didn't matter, they're
Right.
they tend to make things worse, not better. So,
Mhm.
they're gonna have a worse thing happen, and then we're gonna need to give you more money and ourselves more money, you know?
Right. Right.
Uh, and smokescreen, you get, your nickel, and we get our X billion, jillion, illions, they get illions, and we get, like, and, and
Right.
as we don't get aliens of any kind. So they get their aliens, but that's their smokescreen, and all the lower echelon, crew that all know this is coming. They at least get the minor league bottom of the base, bottom of the barrel stuff. For example, I had someone working with me years ago who had a sibling that worked at Apple, and he was visiting, and we were sitting on the beach one time, and they rarely say anything about anything, but he said, you're right about that whole thing about EIDL, PPP. I was like, what do you mean? And he said, I got a text. I was like, you get a text like on
Mhm.
what to do and everything and when? He's like, yeah, from Apple. I was like, I
Wow.
mean, just okay, like,
Yeah.
so, I don't usually get a straight up confession like that, but, because that's what I say. They have information we don't have. That's all. That's all. It's not like what they're not superstars. In fact, you gotta be pretty I don't know, lesser than in a way to need so much knowledge and so much everything to keep us in line. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, it must be pretty difficult to keep in line if you need this level of knowledge. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just saying, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You can fly right through here, get the money. It's all going to be set up like last time. It just has to be. That's their system. It's a financial system. If you want money,
Right.
it comes through the financial system, which I don't make, by the way. I don't make any of this stuff. I'm
Right.
just the loophole guy. Where's the accountant? I'm like, step this way, get a line, everybody right through the loophole. It's like the extra line next to the TSA that you're like, "Doo, doo, 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 doo." That's the one you want to be
Speed
in.
pass.
When they say, hey, today's wedding day, you're like, oh, click, 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 click. You know exactly what to put in. You did my other videos, and now we're like, hey, okay, we're ready, and now here's the form. Here's how you fill it out. Click, 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 click. Cha-ching.
Right.
Uh, you know, it's just the way they set it up. I didn't set it up. How annoying that we have to track all this money stuff and like have to focus on this. Honestly, I got my MBA, and I was like, man, I, I had undergraduate business finance from many years before, and I was like, what is this accounting stuff? And I couldn't figure it out after getting my MBA and everything. I'm like, I'm going to get a master's in accounting. I'm going to figure this out. You know what I mean? And I just figured out they were cheating like crazy. I was like, why can't you figure out the scoreboard? This and what? Nothing
Yeah.
adds up here. And I was like, okay, nothing adds up. I was right. That's it. And then I just figured out,
That's why the book is this thick.
oh, I know.
All
And there's
kinds of
a little section of like the loopholes, like, it's like, oh,
yeah.
you all. That's a pretty big smokescreen there. You must be doing some pretty selfish over there to have that big of a smokescreen.
So I'm gonna invoke some privilege here before I run into some of the questions that are out there. I've got one myself.
Yay.
I have that credit card processor, which I introduced everyone to, Zephy. I got paid a couple times, and then they are holding funds on me, and they said, "Oh, Stripe is the processor for Zephy, and they want my Form 990 and my another piece of information." So I searched the classroom for Form 990, and I saw your answer, which is basically, it's a 508. So, we don't report and we don't do anything with any Form 990. And then 6033, is that right? Is
Yes.
the no taxable situation.
Yeah.
And then the other one was
The SBA.
confirming my bank, my name was on the bank account as well. So it's the bank account is the trust name and Tim Judge trustee,
Yeah.
and from the bank. So I was like, well, that one's easy, right? Because that's on
What,
the
what,
letterhead.
one more thing is that SBA guidance piece that they sent out on EDIDL PPP. Do you have that
I
link?
don't have that, but
Right.
that's it. She didn't ask for that. I didn't want to give her anything she didn't ask for. So
No. Okay. It's just okay. It's a government issued pamphlet that actually gives guidance for PPP and EIDL. So, on
well, that's the other topic that we just ended. This one is just getting my credit card processor to pay out the funds that
I
I've
know.
collected. And you need the PPP and EIDL for that?
No, it's just
Okay.
the government has never issued exact, direct, black and white guidance, except for the guidance for EIDL PPP.
Oh,
That uh, these organization types do not need a letter from the IRS to
okay.
be 501c3. They just say it in black and white right there that they connect it to the letter. They don't need a letter. And so that guidance is critical for the end user to understand why you sent those things,
Right.
because those are the reference code in the guidance. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's what they used to do all the slides for the trust crash course. And used to do super many in a row because it was like, no, see here the slide is, see this is the SBA guidance. Maybe I can find it somewhere. Uh, they might not
Well,
have it.
I'll tag you in a. I just read your response to someone else about Form 990, um, which was good, but it
Yeah.
didn't. I'll re-ask
They,
the question about that
they
inside the
actually took
classroom.
down a link. I just looked
Hmm.
from that guidance, but I have it in PDF form or something like that. Message me. And
Okay.
actually, you know what? It would be great if you put this in the classroom because
Yeah.
I'll actually put the document in there and I'll do all the links. So if anybody comes up against this, you'll see immediately why I would recommend this. Uh,
Okay.
because these are the things that I recommend people send in with the EIDL PPP to the
Right.
SBA to get qualified by them. Stripe's going to be see no different in a
Right.
way. Just okay. So that's why I recommend you give them the package, and that's one more element that they're going to need to do that.
Yeah.
I
I'm
have.
I'm I'm sure she's gonna answer that tomorrow because this happened just before the class, just before the show. I'm sure she'll answer back tomorrow, like, "Oh, if you don't have a 990, we're gonna have to have a second look
Yeah.
at this whole account, blah blah blah."
Well,
And
I
that's
have
when I'll
another
shoot her
answer.
off the other one.
I have
Right.
the final answer after that, and whatever comes back, you actually have something that
Yeah.
gives you government guidance on the issue,
Beautiful.
and so they can they can untangle that knot very easily with that. Because a church has to use, payment gateway. Everybody has to have the mark of the beast and don't
Yeah.
have it. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. So, we have to qualify. But I got away from using Stripe myself.
Mhm.
I use a solid processor that just works. I don't give a I don't I don't ever care about processing fees. I really don't ever.
Yeah.
If they keep a gateway open, it's an absolute miracle, and I just absolutely work through that because I have gone through any payment gateway you can get online easily myself, and then I gone through like I don't know, I want to say 50 applications for
Oh,
payment processors. Uh, and that was to do Liberty Aid Academy, and we're getting rid of debt and stuff like that. I was like, you know, and so I repackaged it this way into a school and everything. And now I just use Shopify. I do. There's a
okay.
payment gateways built in. It's all in one package. I have never had less stress over doing this work than when working with them. I recommend them, and I keep my products really in line with their all the rules and regulations, and we check with them and everything first, like
Right.
pages we make, and we had to really put in everything before, they're like, let's see we had to rename all courses and everything, and so these sort of don't make sense,
Mhm.
uh, but they will process payments on them and stuff. It's like, oh, accounting class, okay,
Right.
so uh, sometimes you have to kind of like pay to play sort of a thing,
Sure.
this annoying, at least on my end, you're doing regular. So for me, I gotta be like, whoever keeps that thing open, amazing.
Right. Excellent. Well, I'll put that in the classroom after later tonight.
There
Um,
and let me just finish too by saying
yeah.
Shopify never asked me for none of that kind of stuff that you're talking about.
Yeah.
If people are sort of complaining like crazy, like in a regular whatever business, they start to look into you. But we don't have that. We don't have complaints.
Right.
We don't.
Right.
People love our work, and that's why we're So Shopify don't have any issues with us or anything like that because
Mhm.
people don't have problems with us. So I've been doing online 100% work only since, let's see, 2012 only. And so, it seems like you're paying them, but if that thing stays open, you know,
Right.
because ultimately you generate more and more money through it, whatever your channel you're operating, and you
Mhm.
need it to stay open.
Yep.
So I know business, but that's how I got to where I got, from having issues like you're having. Uh, and it's just like, okay, that's a part of doing business. I got to pay the other realtor some money or whatever. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. I don't know. That's my real feedback on that. So just sort of
Very
maybe
good.
think about stepping up a tier a minute, you know, and going elsewhere
Yeah.
and having more options.
Well, yeah, I'll open a Shopify tomorrow just in case they still play fuzzy with me.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's how I ended up doing it, you know,
Yeah.
and it was incredibly smooth sailing every single day. Never
Yeah.
money held, nothing. It's like um, they hold, you know, they they don't ever have a problem with like it takes 2 or 3 days to get money if it's a weekend or whatever, but you know, they don't do that. I've never had that issue. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that one, the Zephy, you only get paid every Monday
I
is the
mean,
quickest you get it. So you gotta wait a week. But then it didn't happen last week, and I was like, "Hey, how come I didn't get my payment on Monday?" Oh, it's a good you asked that question. I'm like, "Why do I have to ask that question? You should have sent the money on Monday." And they were like, "We need these forms," and I'm like, "Yeah, no."
yeah. So
So
so that's cool.
I'll
So
do that.
I, you know, that's a more permanent forever solution. And see, that does so many things. You can do so many apps and add-ons and stuff to turn
Hmm.
your website into just absolutely anything that works for you. And there's
Yeah.
it's a huge thing that people use. So you don't need it's user friendly, but like
Hmm.
I don't use it that much. My team does, and you can get people out there who are experts because it's a huge platform. So
Right.
this is what I need. You know, you give them a little, hey, I need this, and go over to Fiverr or whatever, and you can get whatever Shopify done at, on a reasonable price too, because
Right.
it's such a big platform. Anyway,
Excellent.
yeah.
Um, we got a couple people in the house here. Ideals first. How does the reset actually happen? Because according to Liberty Aid Academy website, it's going to happen in 2033.
No, no, Jesus Christ, trust on that. Yeah. How does it
Okay.
happen? On a very regular time clock. That's how. You know, that's why they're always like, you can say you're, they don't actually, all their hidden signs and symbols are about one thing. They're actually not about a whole bunch of anything. They're about one single thing. And what your topic is, what your question is. If that actually happens, would it not be the only thing on your mind? And it is.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's what all their signs and symbols are. And they're actually, I go really deeply into it. I did a face to face last night that is in your hands 3 times, the actual date. So, and so on is actually in your hand, like, you know, 9, 11. So 11, 2, 0, and then there are 2 3s, 2 30 33. So you're at the 6 4, right? 64 years. And then what's the other one? Oh yeah, this symbol that everybody uses, right? 4 times 4 times 4. So that's 4. I 1 2 3 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 because they're 3 digits. So that's what that means.
Mm.
Coming soon. Coming to a theater near you. Anyway, so
All right.
blah blah blah. That's over there. We're doing
Over there on
show
JesusChrist.net.
me the money. That's what we're doing here.
Joseph Neal in the house. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. But this one, what do you think about that? How is this trust different from a foreign trust? Isn't this trust still governed by the state because it was created in the state?
No, it was created. It was created by a human being. You see what I'm saying? So, let me. You're asking a general question. A foreign trust is just a made up term that actually doesn't sort of mean that much of anything that I can figure out. Uh, and I've actually this trust is different in that no one else has any proof with any other trusts of anything. You know what I'm saying? Like they have all kind of trusts, but they don't have a proof that they're not paying taxes legally and getting out of reporting legally and all these other things. They just don't have any proof. So it's not actually, it's like there are no contenders. You know what I'm saying? Because no one has any proof. Sadly, you'll notice proof up or shut up is my, quick meme term to describe what we should all be doing. Because the human would go, I got over on the banksters. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah. You'd be stoked. Look, end result, right? This is what I did. I don't pay tax. That's what I did. Look,
Right.
and that's what anyone would do. What, you know? And so we're they don't do that. The fairies have a fairy tale. You know what I mean? Hey, Ford Trust is blah, 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 blah. There they go, off to the races. It's like, man, they've been talking for a minute. And it's like, where's your freaking paperwork and everything? Where's your proof? Like, that's like this. It's all of them. You know what I mean? It's like, man, your treasury account is just waiting for you. I'm like, okay, could you just I'm sure you have this in PDF form or whatever. Can you copy and paste me the 1,000 addresses of the houses that you own from your method? Because you must own like 1,000 houses. All you do is fill out a form, you own a house. Boom. So what are the addresses of the first 1,000 that you got? You know what I mean? Like their stories are a joke. Like so, don't take that whole for No, it's different in that this trust works, so we have proof. What's the other part of the question? So that was a punchline. Oh,
Yeah, it was
and
governed by the
isn't the
state.
trust governed by the state because it was created by the state? Is that what the is that what the feds would say? I love the script. The script is it is so funny. The script here is so nonsensical. It's like for a 3-year-old. Of course, it's a lie. Because the script is the states existed and they said, hey, you know what? We're dummies and we need a whole bunch of bankers to tell us what to do. And they can be in the middle in DC. It's like, what? And then the states decided at that moment, we're not in charge of ourselves anymore. We abdicate that too. It's like, what the ones that just had a war with another country just totally gave it up and spread their legs for just the next banker in America? What? That's the dumbest story ever. You know what I'm saying? Because who should be actually having control in this if the states were created first? Why don't they tell the feds what to do? There's just supposed to be some bums managing some junk that they hired to manage some junk. That's all
Right.
the feds are supposed to be, according to the stupid script. So no, a state doesn't do it because the state don't make any sense. And why is this not under the jurisdiction of the state? Because it's not made with a state agent, right? It
Right.
is so it's a non-statutory trust. Also, it's created by yourself, so it's private, right? So non-statutory and private are synonyms in relation to this trust. So you're talking about a foreign trust, you're talking about other trusts, you're talking about states ruling things, an agent of the state creating,
Right.
right? That trust, that's what makes it state controlled. You see what I'm saying? If you create it yourself, where did the state jump in to control it? No, 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 no. In other words, you can't unbe if you create it, someone else doesn't come along and then create it again. It was created once. So the state agent created it. They're only allowed to create taxable entities and so on. So that's a statutory trust, and that's what you mean by a state statutory. In other words, governed by the laws of the state, not governed by the laws of God, you know? Which they have a loophole for, you see, and we're using it. So,
Right.
and so public trust is also a synonym with statutory in that you use a public agent, i.e., a CPA, a lawyer, Secretary of State. That's how you got your trust started. And those agents are only allowed to give out taxable reporting trust, period. So that's the difference. And that's where that statutory I think maybe that's what we mean by state control. Statutory is called it, non-statutory. Good question. I hope we unraveled that all yard. Okay.
I think so. Sounded good. Um, Joseph Neal in the house. I'm currently challenging the IRS on my tax bill. The operation manager forwarded my letter to the area office in Atlanta, and they need another 60 days to respond.
Hey, you got to lose that programming, Joseph. Even you. Come on now. I'm going to unravel your wording there, right? I'm currently challenging the IRS on my tax bill. Ain't your tax bill. Come on. Owe nothing, control everything. You have a tax bill on your what? Your person, your trust. You see what I'm saying? You're just fighting. People don't own businesses. We're not businesses. We're not a person. We're not an LLC. We're not a trust. Right? We're running them. So it's like, don't take it personal on your tax bill. Because what? You put it in a trust, right? This is a Christian loophole. You have to give everything to God according to Acts 5, and this actually makes you you're Christian. And then you're like, you're under the jurisdiction, right?
Hmm.
So don't take it like that. You see what I'm saying? Don't take it to heart like that. Take it to heart like, hey, this is, I'm trustee for God, so don't make me pray for you because like I'm gonna tell you totally if you don't do this right. Basically that's the way I handle it. Like so it's not mine. Like I run it as best as I can. And Joseph, I know that's what you're doing, but I'm trying to separate it, from that. And so your verbiage holds to it too, and your actions too. And that allows us to perform better when it's not like, it matters what we're doing and we do our best, but end result, give it to God. So uh, it's important if you're operating a Christian trust to do that part of it, it works. Because what? They fear us with all this hidden knowledge and everything, so we must have some power that they're afraid of. So go
Hmm.
ahead and tap into it. You'll see that it works. So, but that's good. I'm glad you're out there. I love your testimonials. I love your work. You're great at doing this work. He's a very high level individual doing this work. So you know, I also don't get that much time with everybody. So if somebody's out there swinging that, sword and doing his work, I get right to it because I want you to do it, as best as possible. That's what I'm here for. And you're already super good. So just a little tip, okay, Joseph, and God bless your success on that. All right.
Excellent. What do you think about that? Is back with how do you get rid of your SBA loans?
How did you? A good question. Well, you know, the entity that might have had to pay back a loan just went out of business. So what's it gonna do?
Hmm.
Sadly, what are you gonna do? And it also was in some, hurricane devastated location. So it qualified. What are you gonna say? It qualified, let me tell you, according to the feds, totally qualified. So, send them that paperwork. And we have that as one of our courses, actually, is it's all, an actual course, how to dissolve a trust and so on.
Hmm.
That's one of our courses at the school. I did that as a few months ago. It's in there. And that was a necessary step to do that. You do the pieces that turn it off over there just the way you turned it on. And you do the opposite, and then it's off.
It's gone.
So, that's how they knew, oh, that's over and ended. So, we're not getting any money from them. End of.
Excellent. Dee Dee's in the house. Good
Uh,
day.
Warm up is over. Everyone gets serious. All right, DD's. Yeah.
And she's adding OMG, the building commission hated the 6033 along with others.
Right? No.
And she says it's the banker's rules.
No, you just hand them their own piece of paper from the government.
Yeah. And it's FAQ's faith-based organization.
From
Yep.
the SBA, correct. And I saw that link. I just pulled it up. It's just actually been pulled down. It's that useful. But it's you saved it as a PDF, and I individually myself saved it as a PDF and everything. Like that thing is the one saved thing. It has never been in black and white. You see, it's like, oh, and they never, so they can't refute it. You see what I'm saying? So then there's
Right.
just like, are you going to do it or not? And then it's like, I know you guys. You're not that great. Uh-oh.
Tammy's in the house. Hello, Tammy. She says, get the latest updates for the news from Liberty Aid Academy. Sign up here. So that link is in the chat. If you're in the chat, hit that link, the MailChimp link, and you'll be signed up to the newsletter. Very good newsletter because it
It
also
is.
carries these videos as well, the replays.
Tammy's so great at her work, and she's also so incredibly nice and sweet. It's like, oh my God, Tammy's the best ever, and you get a newsletter from her, and the details of what I've been up to, of course, is in there and everything. But she just does it in such a sweet way. I mean, it's the only newsletter I get. I always write her back like how excellent it is and everything, because it is.
Yeah. Yeah, so I posted this link when I said you can come in and open mic night. So there it is in the chat if you want to join the show. Valeria's back. The private trust is governed by its own laws and jurisdiction, and you, the creator of the trust, choose what laws and jurisdiction your trust will be governed by.
you know, it reminds me of my guru said to me. He's like America. He's like, it's like a spiritual buffet over here. He's like, he's from India, very strict Brahmin, raised that way and everything. He's funny. It's like, but he likes it over here at the spiritual buffet. He's like, it's great. So uh, yeah, I think let's clear this up a little bit, Larry. I think you're swinging a sword that needs a little sharpening yourself, and I love to sharpen swords from people that love to swing them. So let's get this thing sharpened up here a second. The private trust is governed by the laws of God that God created, because it's a Christian loophole that the IRS, the government, and so on, they're actually using it too. So that's what makes it okay to use it, because the government's using it to do all of their business. It's their payment gateway. So they can't shut it. That's not possible. You can't do business. So they have a God we trust. They're using this loophole themselves. You see, that's why, hey, you go down the crossroads and play some great guitar if you want. I mean, I never liked guitar that much, but some people do. So you just go down and you sign up, and you're going to play guitar. You never ever play guitar like I don't know. I don't like guitar that much, but it is possible to go then. Hey, you can do whatever you want until I tell you and then you die in your mind. You know what I mean? You can do what you want very briefly. If you outdid the devil in the devil's contract, which no one ever does. So yeah, no. So actually, so there's a Christian loophole, and Jesus only has two laws: love God, love your brothers and sisters. So those are actually the only laws that govern this trust. There aren't any other laws that govern it, and that's the only jurisdiction is Jesus Christ. So just to clear that up, okay? And the thing is, it's not that no government gives anyone rights. God gives rights, and the government's like, okay, here's the rules that we're taking away from you. These rights,
Mhm.
here's the things you can't do anymore. It's like, see, they're only taking away rights. They're never giving rights. God gives all the rights, and they have a loophole for that. You could have God's loophole if you do these two laws, and then you're on your own
Yeah.
recognizance out there. Okay, off you go. Because what? They're doing the opposite. You got we trust, haha, you're with the devil and you didn't know it. See, they're using the same thing, but subterfuge and hiding it. So that made the other side obviously true, is why I opened the trust, and there you go. So uh and you, the creator of the trust, choose what law. No, see, it's actually what I said there. So there is no sovereignty, i.e., you see what I'm saying? You got to pick a team, uh, and that's where the ego dies. You're like, I'm going to get myself out of here. It's like, yeah, but you're not, because you didn't really put yourself in here. See, so who did that? And you better sign up. And what? There's a trust, and then you don't pay taxes. Great, and then they pay you money too. Okay, that's what we do. Okay. All right, but so your sword is sharper. You go cut him down. Okay.
She's back with another one. When it comes to helicopter money, how many trusts can I use to apply for it, as long as they're eligible for the loan application?
It's not about how many. Like I had somebody do it with two, and
Mhm.
taught them how to and stuff. You could also do with an LLC, and I give the reasons in the first video. Like in the we have a membership at $49 a month. You go sign up at YouTube Mentor, and in that I go in totally into detail about, oh, if you want to do another one, here's why and how and so on. But Honestly, I would do one first, and just get it and be like, "Oh, okay." Then you know what's up, uh, and then you know whether it's something you want to spend your time on or not. Did I want to do this or did I not want to do this? It takes some time and money. You got to buy some things. You got to report. It takes your effort. We have to expend our effort on something here. Is it worth your effort? So if you've done one, you know whether it's worth your effort. That's why I say start now. So if you're thinking, oh, maybe hey, that worked. If you really want to roll a dice in on like, got to be helicopter, right? Okay, do another. But I explained all the things in play that you may not have thought of as to why you will or will not want to do that. And so you have pondered them as we go through this process, and you're really, oh, okay. So you see what I'm saying? So I had that thought originally too, but then I was like, wait, I actually have to do it to know whether I need a second or not, or so on. But I did help people. There's video on someone getting two, and he did a testimonial on that. So yeah, and also actually two. One was got an EIDL and a PPP, and someone got two EIDLs, from
Hmm.
two different trusts. So and other people got all kind of money too. They just did video testimonials and so on. Because I was like, I'll help you directly. I want a testimonial. They're like, oh, sure, okay, we'll do it. Where's the
Hmm.
cat? So I should have spent more time on me doing it. But I focus on something that would help people instead of more than myself. But I never got PPP for me because I was so busy working on somebody else's testimonial and getting it done. They totally did it, and like the next day, literally, when I was submitting my papers, shut. So but I got the testimonial. So that's what made me very aware to be prepared, prepare 100%, know everything about this process. I'm here to give guidance. You already signed up. Like, let's do this thing. Uh, do the few things, to build that credit profile and be like, okay, I know how to do it. You're an expert. Great. It's just stuff you don't know. It's not like that hard to do
Right.
here's how you sign up for an account online. You know how to do that. Here's how you pay for a thing with a credit card or pay for, get a bill in the mail, write a check or pay, how to do these things already. They're not hard. So it just takes a little bit of time. America's like shopping. Go shop for, things you don't want. Be a regular American. It's only a couple things you need, and then the things reported, you're on to America. So, okay. I hope
Excellent.
that answers that.
I think so. Um, she's back with the. I guess it's a question for Joseph. Joseph Neal, did the IRS send you a bill with a voucher on the bottom to pay debt? Hmm.
But that's short
I
ain't
wonder.
sharp at all. Why that didn't take. Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, that that was the question for Joseph. It wasn't for her. She probably understands now, but wondering if the IRS is sending out a bill as well. But doesn't matter. You just toss it out. You don't pay and you don't report. End of story.
Yeah, she was going on about that whole habit stuff.
And I think that's where I got the end of story. The light on the trust is off. Yeah. Don't don't answer the door when the IRS comes knocking. Dee Dee's calling Tammy the queen.
I 100% agree. God, thank you, God, for sending Tammy.
And Valeria says, thanks, John. Any clarification is great.
Good, good.
She's liking it.
Come on,
And she
girl.
says, cool,
All right,
thanks.
all right. I know you care about this stuff, so that's why I'm very. I don't get that much time with people, so you know, if the weeds are there, I'm like, well, just stay still. I'm gonna be close to you. I come down. It's like, okay, we're clear. Out you come. So because I only get a minute, so I'm just very matter of fact to help you. That's all. So good questions. Glad we got that cleared up.
Well, we
And
got
that's what
a dozen people here, and I put that link in there. If anybody wanted to come on, you got a few minutes left. We could take a
Dan-
question.
I got it. Daniel ate Sumi. Daniel ate Sumi. The topic is, hey, never pay the government money, they pay you money. I mean, using a trust instead of your person, and the hack is, your person, your straw man, your corporate fiction that has your name and all. That thing's just a business, so it has nothing, and then it qualifies for all the free government stuff. And you operate this trust over here that you don't report, you don't pay taxes, and you're like, all of a sudden you're over there, you're like, you're in like Flint or in like Trump. You know what I mean? You're like, hey, oh, this is what the wealthy are doing. This is why they're out on jet skis in Florida doing whatever they want. Okay. All right. So you just do what they've been doing right along, and you've been watching them do. So it's just that hack. Uh, you know, can you use return on your investment? You go to get the courses right. Can you get a return of your investment? On average American would get 2,880% annually. That's $72,000 annually. Can you use $72,000 annually? For getting courses of $2,500. Can you use that as an average American at this moment? Uh, I'm just, would that help you? That's what we're doing, Daniel. Thanks for that question.
Yes. Just reminding people, like, share, and subscribe. I did have up there the guaranteed to beat any bank or government. I
That's
love
an
that
old
one.
tagline. We pulled that down a long time ago. But yeah,
Oh,
that's how I started. That's how I started. And you know what? Turns
do you
out,
not like it up anymore? Or because I love that
who
quote.
doesn't like it up? This other crew, like
All right.
Stripe, doesn't like it up. You know what
Okay.
I mean? Stripe being the bankers, you
Right.
guarantee to be the bank. They guess what? They're not going to give you a payment gateway. That's what I found out. Especially if you beat them every time and you never have to
Right.
come off your guarantee, then you totally don't get a payment gateway. I'm like, okay, that was a brilliant tagline for about this long. Okay, changing that.
All right. It's gone. That was the last time it'll be up
Thank
there.
you, but I'm saying yes. It was an oldie but a goodie. We'll put it on to listen to. Sure, yeah. We just can't put it on the website.
This one's from it's a little long there, but if you want to subscribe to the Monday show, where you'll learn step by step with Jack, you go to YouTube / at Liberty Aid Academy / membership and join there. So you can join that show every from the Monday lives and do the forms and everything along with Jack, right?
Yeah, Tim, thank you. We got Daniel over here at Instagram. No problem. J Baba. I got a J Baba from Daniel 8 J Baba in the house. And DDJ Baba to YouTube. I knew you right there saying J Baba right then. I was like, Gaia. So everything's good here. Be great to have some more people in the Monday thing, because if you're really serious about doing this work, like why even you know I'm not a time waster on like it's time to get down to business and do stuff. This is what we do, and then we'll do some live stuff. That's just those individuals only, and myself only in that course live at that time. You could watch it on a replay or whatever, but this is a way to get in there, and just it's going to be membership only, so it's going to be very few people in there getting my time and really going deeply into the details of this work. We're doing practical videos I make without a live audience, and then we'll go live and really go into depth talking about them, like old business, old business being the videos I already did, and then whatever's on your mind, because you're live, do new business there on that Monday mentor thing at noon. So that's when the videos will come out by, and if it's that week and I'm going live, I'll put it up. You'll be like, oh, he's going live. Oh, it's coming out. Okay, so you'll be notified as because you have the membership. So are you asking if you
Excellent.
should do it? I mean, how can you get me and really do serious work? This is just talking, which is helpful, but it's not like, okay, this link, fill in this blank and stuff like that. We need that. And that's what I'm doing over there for the serious people doing this work. That's what it's all about. And that's Mondays. Okay.
Excellent. Excellent stuff. Well, that's all the questions in here. Don't know if you have any other final thoughts or statements. We'll be back every Thursday night at 7 p.m. right here, Eastern Time, live. Take your questions. Jump on with us. I encourage people. We haven't had anybody jump on in a while, so please, we need somebody next week to come on and ask a question or just tell their story how the trust has changed their life. It has for me. I feel like I've told that story before, but it's always good to get a fresh face in to talk and ask a question. Dee Dee says thanks.
Hey,
Yes.
Shane Baba. Yeah. Dee Dee, thanks for coming in and thanks for being serious about this work. And so I can't comp anybody into this YouTube thing. I have to, pay it all up myself. So it's just a way to have an option because there's no option to get me live really, except for the
Hmm.
concierge thing, which is really works for people that really want serious one-on-one. I recommend it. But, you know, this is kind of like, because I had a question today. Which was in the classroom, it was the question was just like, "What should I do next?" You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's what this mentor stuff is about, like Be Live, and then I started in a certain place for a reason, and I explained that, and then we'll do this next for this reason, and then that next, and so on. So I really recommend getting it because it's like, okay, this is a lot of great information. Maybe I should start here. But maybe you should watch the expert series where I put it all together. It assumes you have, okay, you got all the courses. Now, this is why I would do this. If I have bad credit on my person, I would do this. If I had good credit on my person, I'd still do this. And this is what we're going to do, like that. And so I explain that whole thing as we go through. So you become an expert. You understand what the courses are for. You understand where they could go and all that. You felt it was important enough to be in these courses and do this work. Well, there's always some new little wrinkle, and they're always preparing something out there, and I'm preparing you for that. So, you know, get live, get current, get instantly current. Like the smartest guy in the whole house, it sure ain't me. Uh, Alan, he's in there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I'm just saying, like, you want to be like the smartest guy in the room. That's Alan. He's in there. So, uh, yeah, you do like Al, like you can call me Al, like he just got married. Is funniest joke. Good friend said, kudos, Mike. He's like, so if you guys break up, would it be alimony or you know? Anyway, not breaking up or anything. He just the joke was there. That was before they were engaged or anything.
Yep.
They were friends. So we can't make that joke now. But it was I could retell a joke that before they even were a
Sure.
couple, when they first met, he asked that question way before anything. So it was a retelling of it. But he's still the smartest guy in the room. So
Yeah.
be like valid.
Excellent. Well, there you have it. We'll be back next week at 7 p.m. Thank you very much, Jack. Appreciate it. And I always learn something. And I'll put my stuff inside that classroom so we can shore that up, and I'll get some results by next week and report back.
All right. All right. Fantastic. All right, Tim. Yeah,
Very
thank you.
good.
You're always a joy to host this, and you're such a professional. Thank you. I know it's not easy out there, real estate land, and here you are helping everybody out. Thank you very much yourself.
My pleasure. We'll see you next week. Thanks.